Now I'm going to talk about the methods of interpersonal communication. These are the ways the group members can transfer meaning between each other. There are three ways that people can actually do this interpersonal communication. They are oral communication, written communication, and non-verbal communication. Firstly, we have oral communication. Actually, the basic way that any kind of communication takes place. Speeches, formal one-on-one and group discussions, and also informal rumor mills are popular forms of oral communication. Advantages of oral communication are speed and feedback. We can convey a verbal message and receive a response in a minimal time. If the receiver is unsure of the message, rapid feedback allows the sender to quickly detect and correct it. The major disadvantage of oral communication surfaces when a message has to pass through a number of people. In an organization where decisions and other communications are verbally passed up and down the authority hierarchy, considerable opportunities arise from messages to become distorted. So, Grand Central Station can become my aunt's constipation. Then we have written communications. Written communications include memos, letters, fax transmissions, email, instant messaging, organizational periodicals, notices placed on bulletin boards, and any other device that transmits via written words or symbols. Written communication is often tangible and verifiable. Both the sender and receiver have a record of the communication, and the message can be stored for an indefinite period. If there are questions about its content, the message is physically available for later reference. This feature is particularly important for complex and lengthy communications. The marketing plan for a new product, for instance, is likely to contain a number of tasks spread out over several months. Those who have to initiate the plan can readily refer to it over its lifespan. A final benefit of all written communication comes to the process itself. People are usually forced to think more thoroughly about what they want to convey in a written message than in a spoken one. Thus, written communications are more likely to be well thought out, logical, and clear. And written communications obviously has some drawbacks. First of all, they are time consuming. You could convey far more information to a college instructor in a 1-hour oral exam than in a 1-hour written exam. In fact, what you can say in 10 to 15 minutes might take you an hour to write. The other major disadvantage is lack of a built-in feedback system. Oral communication allows the receiver to respond rapidly to what he thinks he hears. But emailing a memo or sending an instant message provides no assurance it has been received. Lastly, we have the nonverbal method of communication. Every time we deliver a verbal message, we also send a hidden nonverbal message. Sometimes the nonverbal component may be more important than the verbal one. The nonverbal communication includes body movement, voice emphasis, facial expression, and the physical distance between the sender and the receiver. Body language adds to the verbal communication. A body position or movement can communicate something of the emotion behind a message. Now the voice emphasis. The way something is said can change the meaning. Let's say that again. The way something is said can change the meaning. If I say that again, I can say the way something is said can change the meaning. I hope you understood the message that I am trying to send here. And I don't think I need to explain facial expressions. Lastly, physical distance also has meaning. What is considered proper spacing between people largely depends on cultural norms. A business-like distance in some European countries feels intimate in many parts of North America. If someone stands closer to you than is considered appropriate, it may indicate aggressiveness or sexual interest. If further away, it may signal disinterest or displeasure with what is being said. Nonverbal communication also has some advantages and disadvantages. The advantage would be the nonverbal communication supports other communications and provides observable expressions of emotions and feelings. So you can understand the emotional state and how the sender of the message is feeling at the moment of the communication. And disadvantages can be that sometimes the gestures can get confusing and the interpretation of the messages can become distorted. This mainly happens when people from different cultures communicate. And that would be the end of this video. Thanks for watching. I hope you learned something new today.